No, not ribs, rib tips. And can you ask her for extra sauce, please? And pork fried rice and a little bit of duck sauce. Please don't forget the duck sauce. Thank you. Love you. Hi, guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Tracy, and you already know the vibes. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into today's video. So, y'all know I told y'all that I was going to start doing this thing where I take your questions and I'm going to answer each in a video and try to post them up daily. So, today's going to be the first question. And let's see what that question is today. All right, so today's question comes from Shantae in Seattle, Washington. Hi, Shantae. Our question is, do you think it has become harder to get an agency? And if so, why? So that's the first time I got that question, so round of applause for you. Do I think it has become harder to get an agency? Yes. If I think back to when I first started and just how the whole process went and just how things were generally back then and compare it to now, I definitely think it has become harder to get signed. And I really feel like the biggest issue is social media. I don't want to say issue though, because I don't know if it's a problem. Like, it just is the fact of how things are now. But I feel like one of the biggest reasons, there's a couple of reasons which I'll list out, but I feel like maybe the biggest reason is just that it's given us so much more access. I think if you think back to like the supermodels or like just models and how they get started, you always like think of the stories of like, oh, I got scouted at a Justin Bieber contest, or oh yeah, I was working at Starbucks and the scout came up to me, or something random like my Aunt Mildred knows this lady that used to be a model at Ford and she, you know, like one of those random stories. I feel like nowadays that doesn't happen anymore. Like before, it used to be so like happenstance or whatever. Also, wait, side note, because I always think of that. I don't know what documentary I was watching, but they were like how Amon used to say that she was scouted selling fruits on the road, but she actually was like a law student at like one of the top universities. I don't know. These agents drag it too, because you know it's all marketing and media, so who knows? And also too, I think they said Natalia Vodianova, was also selling apples on, I don't know. Everyone was selling apples then, maybe back in the days. But either which way, I digress. I think nowadays there's just so much more access. So if you have a pulse and some Wi-Fi, you can go on Google, find out what the agencies are, find out how you can send your pictures in, and you can do it. That didn't exist back then. So as such, nowadays there's a lot more competition. You're getting a lot more submissions from a lot of different places around the globe, from photographers, from aunts, from, you know, grandmothers, from friends, you know, like it's just a lot more people being considered. And as such, it just made the playing field a little bit more competitive. I also think too, social media, you know, sometimes I feel like it don't be helping y'all out, because I'll get a submission and it'll be like, hey, here's my pictures. And obviously you send the pictures that you think are really hitting. So those pictures come through. I always double check. So I go on to social media and I look at the real pictures. But then I also triple check, that's just how adamant I am about it. Triple check, and I go in the pictures that you're tagged in so that I can actually see what your friends tag you in, so I can see what it really looks like. And I think sometimes that final round be clocking y'all. But, you know, all jokes aside, I just think there's a lot more to be seen and a lot more content, and people are very kind of, you know, judgmental. So, you know, sometimes you overlook and then you just get disinterested. I don't know. I do see that happens sometimes, and I think that's why a lot of the times people don't even get callbacks, because people do go the extra mile, and they do really check before they even email to even see if you have any other pictures to send. So that's one thing. Another thing I think too, and I feel like I know I'm probably gonna have to answer this question one of these days on here, is everyone's like growing up with social media. So I feel like you can't. Everyone always asks, is social media important? And I always would say it's important, but it's not a make or break. But I feel like kids are being raised on social media now that it's almost like if everyone else has 1 million followers, you almost would be remiss not to have that as well. And I do think that maybe more and more clients are going to start requiring that people have more. So I think just having that be an extra thing to add to, already looking your best and really going to these castings and doing all of the other stuff you have to do. I think it definitely has gotten harder to sign because, agencies are just considering a lot more too. So, of course, this isn't meant to discourage you in any way, because I do feel like for all of these reasons why it's harder, I also do feel like it gives a little bit of a power back to the talent. Like if you really want to pursue modeling, or if you really want to pursue music, or if you really want to pursue acting, there are ways and avenues through which you can build up, a kind of following and fan base for yourself. And, irregardless to what anyone may say, looks and talent and how people feel about them are subjective. The numbers never lie. And these people with the money, they care about the numbers. So, for all of the ways that it can help also take you out of contention for certain things, if you really learn how to finesse it and really use it to your benefit, it can also put you into situations and put you into kind of business deals that maybe you would have thought wouldn't be for you prior. So, I think it's all about how you look at it and just about how you're willing to use everything. Again, for those of you who might be wondering, you can leave your questions down below if you would like me to answer any. And thank you again, Shantae, for the great question. Guys, check me out tomorrow. I'll be back on here with another cute question. Alrighty, bye. I'm gonna go eat my Chinese food.